Inner healing is an ongoing journey, and today I'm going to tell you about something that I healed from just yesterday. It's still fresh, raw, relevant, sacred, beautiful, and stay on because while it's my story, the takeaways from this sharing and this story are going to be so relevant to pretty much each one of you. So watch on and let me get started. So this story starts a little in my childhood, and I have to take you there and tell you some things that I've never shared before. And basically my parents, both my parents, worshipped sports. They were sportsmen, sports stars. They are sportsmen, sports stars. Sports is in their blood. My dad played for a Kerala basketball team. He played for Bihar basketball team. He was like a star player. Touch wood, he's awesome at many sports. He still plays TT like a champ. Sports, right? That's his thing. Wow. My mom, she's touch wood again, she's very good at sports. She played softball for her college, her throw ball, she could like single-handedly take her team to victory. So it was a big thing for them when we were kids. And my elder sister, who some of you might know, was again, sports was in her genes. She only knew first prize, whether it was any kind of running race, any kind of sports, right? So she grew up with the sports thing. And then there's me, as a little girl, a wannabe. And I'll tell you up front, I'm not very gifted at sports, but I wanted to be, clearly, right? And I'm not very bad, as in I worked very hard. So I did not win. I was never the kid who got any prizes in running contests, although I tried. Eventually, later on in school, I started getting once in a while some, like third prize, consolation prize, especially in marathons where everyone else would give up and that kind of stuff. But so not super gifted, actually, now I realize, not even very gifted at sports, but always wanting to be. Now, let's go forward. I grew up on the basketball court. So basketball is very familiar to me. I love the orange colored basketball. It's like, I love basketball. Okay, so we have a little doggy here now who's come to share in the video. Okay, so I grew up on the court. I fell in love with the sport, and even I am still in love with basketball. As I started playing it, I did play for Bihar mini team under 12. I actually was the captain, but in hindsight I realized they made me a captain only because everyone else, like my coaches and all on the basketball team, were basically starstruck with my father. So I was Mr. Ranganathan's daughter, Ramya Ranganathan, so I got made captain, and probably that's why I got selected. Also, I don't know, like whatever, I played, I tried, I put attend my, I'm diligent, very diligent. Okay, so I would show up for my practice sessions on time and very diligent, very motivated, committed. So and I started playing basketball then for my school, and so did my sister. And again, I was very diligent, very committed. I really wanted to do well. So all my free periods were spent on the basketball court. It was like, I want to excel in this. And I gave it my 100%. I made it to the school team later on. So I tried very hard even to get into the school team. But I did not make it to the first 5. So in basketball, there's this concept of first 5 who go onto the team to play, and then all the others are substitutes. And I used to keep waiting, A, to get into the school team, B, to get onto the first 5. And, over the years, I would be counting the seniors in my team. Oh, next year, so-and-so will graduate, and so-and-so will graduate, and so-and-so, look who's here. And so-and-so will graduate, and then will be my turn. And I kept counting, but as some of you can already start guessing, my turn never came, because even when I moved into like grades 9 and 10, the juniors, the girls who were one grade below me, had by then become very good, and there were gifted players there, and including my own sister. She was gifted, by the way, so she was the feeder of the team, and she was always in the first 5 and all of that. So I didn't ever make it to the first 5, which was a heartache, and it was a sore point. I never even talked about it. I could not have talked about this even day before yesterday, but something happened yesterday, which is why I can talk about all of this now. So it was a sort of sore thing, and like I told you, I'm very diligent. So not only did I put in a lot of extra hours on the basketball court trying to get better, I'm also like, if I want something, I really try to make it happen, right? So I'm a dreamer with a very vivid imagination. So I actually started visualization even before I knew something called visualization existed, right? So I used to just dream away in my head about the things that I wanted to achieve and see. And like, you can call it fantasy now, but now I know that that's the science of visualization. So I had all these dreams and fantasies of me ruling and owning the basketball court and being such a star player and the audience cheering and everyone clapping and, and me really, really rocking it. I had all those dreams, and of course they didn't really come true in school. I was just always on the bench and the substitute, and I would cheer on with the other players, the better players, and do my best. Now, okay, this is the story, and now let's take out the lessons. So why did this come up for healing for me yesterday? So we are planning a school multi-batch reunion in Bangalore with all the people from my school who are there, and I'm one of the persons coordinating and planning it. And as it would have it, I just started counting, a lot of our basketball team players are there, which, by the way, I mean, if you're part of a team, you really bond. So I like them, right? So there's Gopal, there's Shubha, there's Sonia, there's Pia, there's Manjari, there's a whole bunch of them. And I was like, this is my basketball team in Bangalore now, and we're going to be meeting. And I started feeling all this tiny bit, not good enough, I never made it, I never really did it, always the wannabe, the one on the bench trying to be all of that. And the things started coming up a bit. Because, as a little girl, I had done, which a lot of us do as kids and a lot of us do as adults also. When you don't get what you want, your brain tries to rationalize by making the other people wrong, right? So as a little girl, my brain had made up stories, and we had a lovely coach. His name is Pradeep sir, and I will be telling you a little more about him. But as a little girl, I did make up stories in my own head, right? Which is like, oh, he's partial towards the tall and fair and beautiful girls, and I'm none of them. None of it is true. I have data now, so I can go back and revisit. No, right? In fact, one of my closest friends, Lakshmi, who rocked the basketball coach, is not even tall. But otherwise, in general, it's okay for a basketball coach to pick and groom tall girls, because being tall is really an advantage on the basketball court, right? So I had made up all of these stories in my head to somehow make it seem okay for me that I'm not getting selected because of blah, 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 whatever, except the fact that I'm just not that good at basketball, because, at that time, it just wasn't that schema that I'm not really good at something, didn't exist in my head. I was like, no, I just had to be good. And so, and even all the hard work did pay off. So when this started coming up, I went down and I had all those memories. And I remembered the one thing that my coach told me. He actually, my basketball sir, he never gave me any compliments or any extra attention or grooming or anything. I was just sort of one of those persons who was on the court, on the bench. But I did get kicked out of the team. I stayed in the team. I wonder why. And now I know. There's one thing that he told me once, when I was sitting, and I used to show up very early for practice every time and all, right? Even before the team would practice, because I was, again, super committed, diligent. So one day when he came early and I came early, he sat down and he said, Ramya, you know why I keep you on the team? And I was like, no, I don't have what I wanted to hear is you're the best player and you have raw talent and all. He said, your game doesn't get affected by the scoreboard, by the audience, or by time. I was young, I was like, like 13, 14, I was like, what does it mean? He said, okay, I'll tell you, when the team, suppose there's 5 minutes left for the match to end, So he gave me this is the exact example that he gave me. So if there's 5 minutes left and we are lagging behind by 20 points or 10 points, and everyone else has given up, and audience has given up, and the other team is, everyone has decided this is the winner, this is the loser. And that's when I put you on the team. You're the one person who's playing as if it's the start of the match, as if yes, we can still win it. Like there's no difference in your game, and that's why I keep you. So, and then the other thing is, I also substitute you when the energy of the team goes down, when the motivation goes down. So I guess I was like a cheerleader, but instead of cheering from outside, I was like playing and cheering from inside. Because like I told you, I'm not bad at the game also. I worked very, very hard. So I heard it then, and I didn't really get the gravity of that statement. I listened to it, I remembered it, which means I listened to it and I heard it, but it felt like nothing great for me, right? It felt like, oh, so that's why you're keeping me on the court, not because I'm a good player, right? In fact, later on in my mid-20s, 30s and all, I do remember revisiting this conversation once and actually thinking, my God, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid that I don't know. Like I'm the dumb one who's going to go and play, even if we are definitely going to be losing. Like I'm not strategic and all of that. I got into the judging myself for being so naive and stupid and all of that. Now, however, I realize that that is the true strength of mine. Not just strength, it's a superpower. And I'm so grateful for my coach for recognizing it and letting me know. You can call it resilience, you can call it the spirit of don't quit, you can call it this. I'm going to show up in 100% of my Josh, even if I'm given 2 minutes on the court and there's no chance of winning. That is me. And I can bring that gift now to life in so many things that I do, because life is an infinite game. It's not like basketball, that's a finite game. So I can just bring that Josh, bring that energy, irrespective of whether the audience is cheering or not, the feedback is good or not, the project's going to succeed or not, the students in my class are listening or not. Okay, I can just show up in my 100% and give it my best. And it's weird. You can call it this, which I've been called a lot, but it's me. I also, in my healing, when I realized that, yes, this is a very, very unique gift that I have, I can't be 100% sure, but I might have been born with this gift, or I might have developed it through something that I went through, and which is, so I don't know the causality there, but I do want to share this with you. When I was 12 years old, I was part of a fire accident in a stampede, where at one stage I found myself buried under this mountain. It felt like a mountain of burning, screaming, dead bodies, dead, alive bodies and people and smoke, and like just trapped. And then there was this little patch of sky, so it's like the last 2 minutes of a match, so the little part, like it's like kahani khatam nahi hui, right? Sky. And I was like, okay, there is an exit, there is the sky, there is fresh air, we're going for it. And I just went for it, and touch wood again, luckily, I survived, came out. Yeah, I got a head injury and some burns and all, but touch wood, nothing as bad as that couldn't be recovered from. And by the way, that head injury is also why friends and family always call me this, but that's okay. So the thing is, so that's the weirdness, but that's also my superpower, and I get to live that, whether it's my family situation, whether it's work, whether it's what I do professionally. Now, winding up, so what are the lessons here? Okay, before the lessons, there's one more beautiful revelation that I had, which is one adage or one philosophy that I go by is that the universe always has our back. And increasingly I've started also recognizing how much that whatever it is we desire and we ask for, we get it. But we get it in the universe's timing, not our timing, right? So remember, I wanted to be the queen of the basketball court. I wanted to rule. I wanted to be the star. I wanted to be like the person. I didn't get it in school. But I kept asking for it, wanting it, dreaming of it, working hard towards it. And guess what happened? I went on to study in colleges like IIT and IIM, which I will just say are not they don't have the best sportsmen, they don't have the best sports teams, and especially, I mean, IITs don't even have many girls, and obviously the standard of women's sports is not very high. So guess what happened? I became the star overnight. I became the queen of the basketball court for all 4 years, all 4 IITs, even at IIM, and I got to feel like I am the basketball rock star because I have been playing basketball. Even if I'm not gifted at the sport, like naturally gifted. I now know what natural gifts in sports is, right? It's like my sister or like my son, touch wood again, or my parents. Like there are some people who like will rock it in any game, but I can't do it with any game. But I grew up on the basketball court, so I got it. I got something. I can dribble, like I can run and walk, right? And I got to be the star. And so those visions, those dreams did come true for me in a very weird way. And so wrapping up, what are the learnings here for all of us? One, of course, that there's always more to heal from. And now I'm really looking forward to reuniting with my school gang, the basketball friends, without any feeling of, I'm not good enough, and you were the coach's favorite, and being jealous of them. I can actually open up my heart and embrace these wonderful, lovely women, which I am so looking forward to doing. So there's always room for more healing. One, learning, which I think is applicable for all. Second, learning, which I think is applicable for all, is that we don't have to be good at everything, and that's okay. Yes, I wanted to be good at sports, I wasn't, but I'm good at so many other things, and you're all good at something, and that's totally okay, right? I'm going to call up my parents and say, yeah, your second daughter is not a sports rock star, and that's fine, and I'm sure they'll also be fine with it. It was just the little girl in me who thought they would not be fine if I didn't get the sports things. That's the second point. So you don't have to be good at everything. Third thing, dream, visualize, whether it is on the things you're good at or not, because the universe is such a cutie, scheming, motherly, kind gifter that the universe will make your dreams come true. So the universe made my basketball dreams come true, even though I had no gifts. So go ahead, dream, and ask what you want. And the most important gift, learning, that I'm walking away with, and I want you to walk away with, because this is what I do professionally now, which is start discovering, uncovering, reconnecting with your unique gifts and superpowers, the things that you are really truly gifted at, which make you uniquely you, and find ways to bring them into your work, into your life. And because I'm a career coach and I teach career alchemy, I will say bring them into your career, and then you can rock, right? You can also make lots of money, and you can also have lots of promotion and all of that. You won't be stuck like I was in basketball, but you actually rock, right? So one of my superpowers is this thing that I told you to, just come in with 100% energy no matter what. You will each, so go back to your childhood and look at yourself, and look at what were those things that made you uniquely you. And maybe some of them might seem very dumb, and this thing was something that I judged myself of, like which idiot is going to enter the court when there's 5 minutes left and everyone's given up and sad, and there's actually no hope of winning, but she's still going to go and give it 100%. People can laugh at a person like this, right? You can laugh at someone like, look at this silly girl, she doesn't realize they're going to lose. But that's me. And do you think I can use that now in my work and life? Absolutely. Okay, so have a lovely day, be yourself, and I hope this helped you.